Ozzie, on June 8th, just coming up around the corner, we have our Global Security Forum. It's our second annual Global Security Forum. It's going to be from 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. It's a packed house. We already have over 700 RSVPs, but folks at home can watch it live on the internet. Ozzie, give us a little bit of an overview of what's going to be happening at the Global Security Forum.
Yeah, well, thank you, Andrew. As you know, this Global Security Forum is CSIS's annual security conference. It was Dr. Hamre's vision that there would be the security conference in Washington, D.C., where some of the most challenging issues facing senior policymakers, think tank leaders, academics, everyone from across the spectrum can come together and hear senior leaders and opinion makers comment on these things and to have a robust discussion about some of these issues.
Tell us about some of the key sessions that will be happening that day.
It's a wonderful day. Again, one of the things about the format is we have 3 sessions, but during each one of those sessions, we have 3 concurrent panels. It adds a little bit of an edge of competitiveness, gets the scholars to kind of put their best foot forward and makes it, challenging for the people who attend the conference to kind of pick what they have to go and see. And that adds to a little bit of the edginess and the flavor of the conference.
Our keynote session is with Deputy Secretary of Defense Bill Lynn. What's he going to be talking about?
We're truly honored to have Bill Lynn be this keynote speaker this year, especially given Secretary Gates' recent speech where he talked about everything in the defense infrastructure being on the table for review. With Bill Lynn's background in industry, it'll be very interesting to see some of the comments as he talks about the way forward for the defense industrial base, talks about some of the personnel challenges that the department's going to face, and what the future and the vision is for the department going forward in the coming years.
And we're also doing a panel on the defense budget and John Hamre, our CEO at CSIS, is actually moderating that. Tell us about what that's going to try to get into.
This is going to be a terrific panel. Again, being able to get John Hamre to moderate this panel is just going to add so much richness to the content. We have former Secretary Chu will be there as well as General Fogelman. And as we saw, heard in the recent last major policy speech from Secretary Gates, where he talked about some of the challenges facing the department and specifically the budget. And he said everything is on the table. There's going to be a complete review of the Department of Defense. So what does this mean going forward? And I think one of the things by having Secretary Chu and John Hamre on the board and Ron Fogelman is to look back. We've had these challenges in the past. We've had budget calls for budget cuts at the Department of Defense. How do we handle it? What did it mean? And what does this mean going forward?
So at the end of the day, what are the overarching goals of this year's Global Security Forum?
Again, what we're trying to do here is capture some of the challenging issues that are facing us, not so much today, but in the future. And what does it mean to policymakers? What does it mean to the United States government? What does it mean to the international community? So bringing together these senior policymakers, former government officials, and a very large audience of people who will ask some extremely challenging, engaging questions for sure, is to forward that dialogue, that discussion, and to see if we can generate some sort of policy solutions or recast the issues and how we're thinking about things.
Ozzie, thanks so much for your time. We're looking forward to a great session on June 8th. I hope everybody can tune in at csis.org. Thanks.
Thank you, Andrew.